Shedding perfectionism for being perfectly imperfect has been so freeing for me. It gives me permission to make a mistake before I even do, because I now carry that belief that even when I do make a mistake, I still rock. And making those mistakes will actually transform me into an even more awesome version of myself, because I will possess a ton of new wisdom on what not to do and how to get closer to what I actually need. Welcome to the Love Yourself Louder podcast. If you're a growth-minded gal who's ready to walk a joyful journey of living wholeheartedly, then you, my dear, are in the right place. My name is Nicole DeFelice, and I'm obsessed with all things personal growth, expanding our self-awareness, and getting intentional about practicing self-love. This podcast is where you will be encouraged and challenged to unleash courageous confidence and cultivate more meaningful connections in your life. It's time to start loving yourself louder. Hey there, friends. This episode, we're diving into the ultimate brain hacks for cultivating a powerhouse growth mindset. But before we get into the nitty-gritty of brain hacks, let's kick things off with a quote from the legendary Winston Churchill. "Success is not final. Failure is not fatal. It is the courage to continue that counts." Ain't that the truth? Picture this. Success is like a pit stop on your epic road trip, and failure is just a detour with an ice cream stand. But here's the real scoop. It's not about hanging out at the pit stop or getting stuck on the detour. No. It's all about having the courage to rev up your engine and keep cruising on down that highway of life. So whether you're celebrating success or having a little detour moment, remember, the real hero move is to just keep on trucking. Imagine a growth mindset as your superhero cape for success. It's like having this awesome set of beliefs and behaviors that turn you into a total success magnet. You become this unstoppable force, always on the lookout for opportunities to learn, ways to upgrade your skills, experiences to boost your resilience, and identity pieces to amplify your character. A growth mindset is basically the secret sauce for romanticizing the life that you are living now, so that the life you're dreaming of is naturally drawn to you and you're prepared to receive it when it arrives. I'm going to hook you up with my top 3 crazy powerful and totally actionable growth mindset brain hacks. Hack number 1, shifting what we value. Instead of putting intelligence and abilities on a pedestal, let's champion effort and persistence. Imagine a workplace Wonder Woman who's always been the office brainiac, effortlessly tackling every task with superhuman intelligence. She's got this reputation for being the office genius, and hey, who can blame her? She's pretty fantastic. Now, enter our second leading lady. She faces a project that's like a puzzle with missing pieces. Instead of sitting back and thinking, well, I'm not a wizard, so I can't do this, she puts on her thinking cap and sees it as a chance to flex her growth muscles. She dives into the challenge, maybe stumbles a little bit, but hey, that's part of the superhero training montage, right? Leading lady number 2 embraces the growth mindset, seeks advice from mentors, adds some new tools to her toolbox, and voila, she slays the mission. The office erupts in applause for her dedication, hard work, and sheer Wonder Woman resilience. So while our first office hero relies on her genius state, our second hero champions effort, persistence, and a healthy dose of solutionary mindset. It's like turning every workday into an epic adventure, where the journey is just as important as the destination. Some other ways we can hack our brain to shift what we value is to prioritize the process over the outcome and celebrate mistakes as valuable lessons rather than aiming for perfection. Perfectionism was a tendency that I really struggled with in the past. I can't even count how many women I've encountered that proudly fly their perfectionist flag. I would even bet our workplace Wonder Woman struggles with a healthy dose of perfectionism that keeps her in the safe and the known, because outside of that is not knowing, and holy smokes would that be terrifying. What I have come to learn about perfectionism is that it is often attached to some struggles with self-worth. That if what we produce isn't perfect, or if we ourselves are not perfect, then we just aren't good enough. And that feels pretty yucky. Shedding perfectionism for being perfectly imperfect has been so freeing for me. It gives me permission to make a mistake before I even do, because I now carry that belief that even when I do make a mistake, I still rock. And making those mistakes will actually transform me into an even more awesome version of myself, because I will possess a ton of new wisdom on what not to do and how to get closer to what I actually need. Remember, it's about failing at trying new things over winning in our comfort zone. And here's a big one. Choose the hard, boring, but necessary tasks over the shiny new or exciting ones. Or even deferred gratification over instant gratification, because it's going to feel even better after you've put in some sweat equity for that win. So though that is hack number 1, shifting what we value, now on to the second brain hack. Hack number 2, being aware of our language. I cannot express enough how powerfully our words shape our reality and influence our thoughts and beliefs. You will often find me raising a finger and gently letting my people know, hey, I'm sensitive to that word or that phrase. Not sensitive in the way that certain words are off limits, because I love me a $10 word and a well-rounded vocabulary. What I am sensitive to is the application of that word. We need to be intentional with our language. This is especially true for any statements we might use absolute or black and white terms like never or always, because I statements are actually directly linked to our beliefs about our personal identity. This is also true of identity statements that we accidentally bestow upon others by saying things like you never or you always. I want to be sure I am cloaking myself and my loved ones in empowering pieces of our identities. So for myself, instead of saying, I never use my yearly planner, who's with me, buys a yearly planner every year and crushes it for the first few weeks, only to fall off the wagon and have it turn up mostly empty and unused sometime in August, just in time to start it all over again, folks. I feel ya, sister. Instead, I'm going to say, my goal is to enjoy my yearly planner for 2 weeks, then schedule myself a reflection time to determine what's helping me with my planner and what's not serving me with my planner. For my children, instead of saying, you are always so cranky in the morning, I might say, I really like slow mornings too, and I can't wait to share one with you on Sunday. This affirms the reality of my children's struggle with getting up early and the rush of getting off to school. It shows them empathy and understanding for the shared experience, and highlights a time in the near future when their preferred pathway will be the option. And what all of that doesn't do is have them walking around believing that they are a total crank box all day, every day. For my husband, instead of saying, you never load the dishwasher properly, I might say, Leverage those Tetris skills, bro, and I bet you can fit more dishes in there. This highlights a strength that can be leveraged for the task at hand and affirms my belief in his success instead of having him believe he's failed at the task before he has even started loading the dishwasher. It's all about the power of our words. Instead of saying, I can't, or I don't know how to do this, flip the script and say, I will learn how to do this. Shift from, I'm not good enough, or I'm not good at it, to, I am not yet as good as I will be. I am growing. And if you catch yourself saying, I can't make a mistake, or I can't mess this up, swap it with, I am proud of where I am in the journey and inspired by the people who are further than me. Ready for our third and final brain hack to unlock the ultimate growth mindset? Hack number 3, keep a growth journal. You've heard me talk time and again about the power of putting pen to paper. And here's why. Writing things down happens on 2 levels, external storage and encoding. External storage is easy. You're storing the information in a location like on a piece of paper or on a sticky note in a notebook. It is very easy to access and review that information at any time. You can keep that growth journal bedside or post that sticky note with your goal on it on your refrigerator or your mirror. It doesn't take a neuroscientist to know that you will remember something much better if you're staring at a visual cue of it every single day. But there's another deeper phenomenon that's occurring, and that's called encoding. Encoding is the biological process where the things that we perceive travel to our brain's hippocampus where they're analyzed. From there, decisions are made about what gets stored in our long-term memory and what gets kicked to the curb. Writing with pen and paper improves that encoding process. In other words, when you write it down, it has a much greater chance of being remembered. Neuropsychologists also identified the generation effect, which basically means individuals demonstrate better memory for material they've created themselves than for material they've just read. It's a pretty sweet edge to have, and when you write down your thoughts, you get to access that generation effect twice. First, when you generate that thought or create a picture in your mind, and second, when you write that thought down, because you're essentially reprocessing those ideas or regenerating that image. So brain hack number 3, time to start a growth journal. Create a space for daily reflection time, grab an empty notebook, dub it your growth journal, and answer these 3 prompts every day. What was something I learned today? How did I make progress regarding my current goals today? What can I do tomorrow to just be 1% better? And there you have it, the ultimate growth mindset brain hacks. Remember, cultivating a growth mindset is like sculpting your superhero alter ego for success. So go out there, embrace the challenges, and let your growth mindset shine. Each episode, I share an actionable way to implement what we're learning together so you can start weaving an intentional practice of self-love into the fabric of your beautiful life. For this episode's Love Yourself Louder challenge, I want you to choose from the 3 brain hacks we chatted about today and select one to focus on this week. Quick recap. Hack number 1, shifting what we value. Hack number 2, being aware of our language. And hack number 3, keeping a growth journal. Pick the one you feel most called to implement and are most likely to put into action today. we can grow into the other ones over time. Remember, my friends, it's all about progress over perfection. If you're a visual learner and you'd like access to my Ultimate Growth Mindset Brain Hacks cheat sheet, you can snag it up as a totally free resource in the Love Yourself Louder Insiders group on Facebook. Check out the link in the show description to come and hang out with us there. If you've got burning questions or self-love celebrations, I want to spotlight you and share your powerful insights with listeners in future episodes. Drop your gems in the Love Yourself Louder treasure chest, and who knows, your thoughts might just become a reflection moment on my next episode. Share the love, spread the wisdom, and submit your questions at loveyourselflouder.com/questions. I cannot wait to dive into your brilliance. Thanks for tuning in, lovely listeners. If you enjoyed today's episode, don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss a thing when new episodes drop every Friday at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Leave your girl a sweet review and share the growth mindset wins that we are sharing along the way. Until next time, keep growing and keep loving yourself louder. Bye!